Adjumani is made up of 19 refugee settlements. They mainly welcome people that flee the war from neighboring South Sudan. In Pagirinya, Boroli and other settlements, South Sudanese men feel a sense of entitlement towards women. They have a very strong conviction that gives them a sense of ownership of their female counterparts.
These ones are basically attributed to the cultural aspects of the refugees that we are dealing with. Being a cultural aspect, it is hard to deal with it because we have to do it in such a way that we don't seem to be attacking the culture.
In these communities, men are allowed to marry at any age of their lives. In some of these tribes, the elder sons are compelled to inherit the father's wives and also allowed to bear children with the stepmother.
We have cases whereby the husband dies and the brother to the deceased takes over. Whether the widow is interested in the brother or not, she really has no say or mention. She just has to abide.
One of the things, the wife cannot go away because it was lost a lot of dowry. You know, when my father married my mother, my stepmother, he spent a lot of cows and money. So we want to maintain her such that the dowry cannot be lost.
These and other gender-based violence occurrences are rampant in these communities, and it cuts across gender.
The reason is about sleeping bed.
Joseph in Boroli settlement is a typical example of a man consistently violated by a physically stronger wife.
Joseph has been violated several times. In fact, at one point, at night they went to sleep. According to Joseph, he demanded for sex from the wife, but the wife refused. And then he ended up turning his back. As he was trying to sleep, the woman also he was trying to demand from him sex, but he also refused. Then the woman was like, "If you refuse, I know where to get you." Then he tried to squeeze the balls of him, and the man had to be taken to the hospital.
Traditionally, a woman must be married off at a younger age so she can fetch more cows for her family as dowry.
My parents had no cows, but my cousin's family did. My parents forced me into marriage so they can also get the cows. Since I was married off in 2014, we don't even have contact. I don't love him.
It's therefore a responsibility of the elder brothers to do everything in their power to find suitable spouses for their female siblings.
When you have a daughter, you mean that you have your own bank account. When she gets married in a early age, the person who decides to marry your daughter will bring a lot of cows.
I was at the well alone washing clothes. A man came, grabbed and threw me on the ground. He tore my pants, painfully raped me, and ran away.
Olivia, not real name, contracted HIV/AIDS from a rape incident. She also gave birth to a child that belongs to a man she barely knows.
I was introduced to LWF staff who took me to police and reported the case. They then took me to hospital where I was tested and treated. Later, during a hospital visit, I was found that I was HIV positive and pregnant.
The Lutheran World Federation has intervened by offering both prevention and awareness on gender-based violence.
Well, given the fact that we are dealing with a multiplicity of tribes, we have structures in the community. We get to work with the structures in the community, and they do the awareness through us. I mean, through them we do the awareness. We bring them on board, build their capacities, they take the word to them, and we have seen some changes in perceptions and understanding of the concept of GBV and the effect itself. Most of the times you find that these structures are the ones who report if a case of a certain nature is about to happen. If there are plans of marrying off a young girl, they are the ones who call us. You don't need to quote them. If there is physical violence, which is normally recurrent between couples, they are the ones who try to guide the survivors through the referral pathway. In case of this, you go to police, you get a form and proceed like that. Yes. So we use the community structures to reach to the people on the ground.
He said, you are crying, you are accusing me here. You want people to know that what we are doing here. I will shoot you dead if you don't shout here. He hung me here. But then, because I do given him that respect now, I decide to respond what he want to do.
All forms of gender-based violence must be condemned and stopped to allow peaceful communities.
Gender-based violence is globally an issue. But when we talk about displaced individuals, they are more vulnerable. My message to the victims is they have a right to speak. They have a right to get justice. I do encourage them to speak up. For perpetrators, my message is they are violating the right of the girls, the right of the women. They have to stop these criminal acts.
So I can say we need more training, dialogue, sensitization, such that the community will be aware not to do that.
The human rights framework asserts that women are entitled to protection, promotion, and fulfillment of their human rights. Abuses against women can no longer be relegated to the so-called private domain. And accountability is demanded of Uganda as a state to uphold commitments to girls' and women's human rights made in a number of treaties and international documents. In the refugee context, the Human Rights Council recommended to end GBV among refugee women, and this is very critical. LWA believes that interventions that help communities prevent and respond to gender-based violence have the potential to transform lives and also support robust humanitarian and development outcomes.